7. Hello and welcome to the I Am Worth It 2019 Summit. I'm your host for this presentation. My name is Jennifer Fallaw. I'm an angelic medium, medical intuitive, divine healer, a remote viewer, published author, co-owner, and CEO of Beacon of Light Radio. In the spirit of the theme of this year's summit, I'm going to present 3 Steps to Centered by Archangel Uriel. This is a 3-step process that's about self-care. And in the spirit of self-love, you really need to take care of yourself. And there are many ways that you can do that. I received this information a while back when it just seemed that I had too many things going through my head. Too many, just too much chatter, and I wanted to start something new. And I was talking to Archangel Uriel about it, which is interesting because I don't normally talk with him unless it's about universal things. And he suggested that I get centered. I said, well, how do I do that? And he gave me this step-by-step process. It's a 3-step process. It's very simple. But it's just most of the time when angels give you something, it's very simple, but it's so meaningful in so many ways, and it leads to other forms of help for you, other ways you can expand. And this really helps you personally clear away the negative thought patterns and limiting beliefs and the false perceptions about where you are currently in your life, and the blessings and abundance in our life that along our journey, we sometimes, we get blinders. We put blinders on and we don't realize how blessed we are. So this is a 3-step process that will help you get back centered to where you are right now. It's being present. It's a process of gratitude, and I've used it many times. It helps a lot. It really does, because you think, oh, well, I'm spiritual and I'm this and I'm that and I'm so knowledgeable and I'm centered. Well, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're not. We get too wrapped up in life and perceptions and other people's perceptions and other people's ideas and of who we should be and where we are. We compare ourselves to other people. And this is just a simple process you can repeat over and over that will help you as often as you'd like. Like I said before, we get blinders on. People will sometimes come to the conclusion that they're alone when they're standing in the middle of a bunch of people or in a very busy life. They'll come to the idea that they don't have this or that, so they aren't abundant, or they're lacking in some way. All we really have to do in this life is survive. It comes down to that. All you have to do is survive. Help the kids survive, but sometimes we get so wrapped up in who we should be and how it should be and when it should be that it's very hard to be present. We're thinking about the future, we're thinking about the past, we're thinking what we should do, what we haven't done, what we should be, and how we've been. And so this 3-step process helps us clear away the chatter and the cants and the falsehoods. So after Archangel Uriel gave me this, he said it's a 3-step process, and each step you should work on for 3 days. And so I'm like, so this is a 9-step process. And he said, yes. And I'm like, immediately, I don't have time for that. Immediately. And I'm thinking, why is it 9 days? And he says, you know, why is it 3 days for each step? Why can't I spend an hour? And he says, well, because it takes 3 days to establish a regiment. And I was like, well, that's good to know. I can apply that to other things. You know, 3 days to establish a regiment. Remember that. So you're going to want to get some paper and a pencil so that you can write down just the basic ideas, just the 3 steps. And then we have some extra credit at the end if 3 steps don't quite do it for you. And you know, if 9 days is too much of a commitment for you in the beginning, just try for an hour each. You know, I mean, this is just coming from me now. I did this. And as you're going throughout your 3 days, if you decide to do this, you do it in between the other stuff you have to do. You go back to the thought process. You go back to the place of being present. So you'll be amazed by how your perception changes and how at peace you feel, and look back after the experience and realize how much time you spent thinking about unimportant things and how much time you spent not being present in your life. The goal here is not to just calm down and feel better today, though. You can practice it for an hour each step, and then you'll want to do more because you will like it. You will like it. Like I said, the goal is not just to feel better or calm down and feel better today. It's to change your perspective on how abundant you are already, how loved you are now, and how blessed you have always been. And excuse my notes. First off, before we begin, we want to acknowledge that we're here, we're alive, we are okay. It is okay for us to spend this time in our thoughts to do this. We're still going to do everything we're supposed to do. Nobody's going to fall apart because we would have spent the time anyway obsessing about what so-and-so thinks or what going on with the kids or what I should be doing or what I didn't do years ago or, you know, how am I going to pay for this 3 years from now? I mean, we do things like that. We spend a lot of time thinking about things that pull us out of our reality right now. All right, so step 1. Step 1 is to recognize the physical and material abundance in your life. How abundant you are already. That's what we're going to do. We're going to recognize all the physical abundance in our lives. And when you recognize something and you feel gratitude for it, in your mind say thank you. That is confirmation. Sending out to God, sending out to the Creator, sending out to the universe, whatever you want to call it, that is confirmation of your acknowledgement of your current abundance. And it makes it concrete. It's confirmation of your creation, okay? Because moving forward, this does many things. When you'll start to raise your vibration, and when you stay in the mindset that I am already abundant, I'm already cared for, I am already loved, I'm already this, I'm already that, more of it comes to you. And so that's our focus here with step 1. So before we continue step 1, and before each step, write this down. Imagine you had nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's all we really have to do is survive, right? There are certain things we need to survive. What if, what if you didn't have shelter? What if you didn't have anywhere to sleep, anywhere to get clean, anywhere to eat, any food to eat, anything? Nothing. Bare naked, no clothes, nothing. That would be bad. That would be bad. But we're not. So the first step is and this is fun. I always go through step 1 like over and over again because I'm a Taurus and I like comfort. Real big on comfort. So I'll do it when I just kind of get off track. So what you do, you go about your day like you always do. Walk around your house, drive your car to work, go to work. I want you to notice all the physical things, the material objects in your life that are blessings to you, that add to your life. We are not going to focus on anything that is broken or dirty, or I need to get a new one of those, or I don't have this, or I don't like the color of that, or this is, no negative thoughts at all. This all has to be positive energy, because along this process, you're raising your vibration. Gratitude is one of the highest of vibrations, and it's right up there with joy. And so we want to keep our vibration high and our thoughts positive as we move forward. So if you start thinking, it's like, oh, wow, I have a couch. It's really nice to have a couch. We can sit on it. I can sit on it with friends. I can sit on it with kids. I could sleep on the thing if I had to. And it faces the TV, and I like to watch TV. And if there was no couch in this room, I'd have to sit on the floor. It's actually a really good couch, and I'm thankful for the couch. Don't look at the couch and say, oh, well, it's getting old, or there's a stain on it, or the cat scratched a corner of it, or anything like that. So this is actually kind of fun. So when I tried it, I was so surprised at how much fun it was. It's kind of like a game. And so you go around the house and notice random things as you're going about your day. Oh, I need to write something down. Well, I pick up this pen and I pull out this piece of paper and I write it down on the piece of paper. If I had no pen and I had no paper, I would not be able to write this down. So that is a blessing. Thank you, God. And then you go about, just tell you the truth. I'm a girl and I need a lot of girl things. Okay. I guess I could survive without girl things, but I like girl things. I like things to do my hair with. I like creams and makeup and all the girl things that we like to have. So I was doing this process. I was going around the house. So I go into the bathroom and I was putting something away. And so I opened the drawer, and I think it was the toothpaste that everybody always leaves on the counter, but I put it in the drawer. I'm like, oh, it's a good thing we have toothpaste. I have the funds and the means to buy that toothpaste. And we never really are without toothpaste. There's never a day that goes by that we don't have toothpaste. And then I looked in the other drawers, and I'm like, there's a comb, and there's a brush, and there's a straightener, and there's a blow dryer. I don't have to walk around with wet hair. And I'm like, just in this bathroom alone, I have so many things that make my life better. And that make me happy. It makes me happy to have these things. It makes me happy to be able to brush my teeth. And they're things, everyday things that we take for granted. And the focus of this is retraining yourself to be grateful for things that we normally would have taken for granted. So as you go about your life, later on, you'll have taught yourself to do that. And so maybe later on, even as we move on to relationships and spiritual things and all that and the other steps, maybe things won't be taken for granted. Now, if you can get a teenager to do this, I couldn't get mine to do it. If you can get a teenager to do this, that would be good. because they take everything for granted. All right, let's move on. So, and just know there's a certain amount of guilt with acknowledging the physical things that you have, these materialistic, don't be materialistic, these material things that you have that we are told and we are taught not to like. But we like them anyway because we keep getting them. Okay? Let's acknowledge that we like these material things and it's okay to like these material things. We're not all about material things. That would be wrong. We're not. So if you get a pang of guilt as you go around your day and it spoils the joy of engaging in the joy of noticing and being happy about these material things, just push it aside. We're not going to deal with that today or for 3 days. It's okay for 3 days for us to be happy with what we have and acknowledge it. So that's what we're going to do. So ways you could do this is to, like, I'm really comfortable in this shirt right now. I am. And I'm not cold, not too hot. It's really nice that I have a shirt. And you know what? I have a lot of shirts. Go look in your closet. Women go and look in the closet and we will move things aside. Nope. I have nothing to wear. There's nothing in there that's appropriate for the situation. There's a lot of things in there. And you have to just take each piece out and say, listen, I have a lot of shirts. If I wanted to wear a different shirt for a month, I could do so. That is abundance. Some people only have one shirt. Think about your bed. You know, and people, it's funny, they put these things up on Facebook, which is not bad at all. I'm not saying it's bad. They'll put these, okay, every day, gratitude for 30 days or a year or whatever. Today, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for my bed. Done. Take like 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes to stand there and ponder why it is that you're thankful for your bed. How many times has that bed allowed you to sleep in a comfortable position? The blankets on it, how you don't have to be cold. The pillows, Let's say you had nothing. Let's go back to that spot if you're having trouble with it. If you had nothing, my kingdom for a pillow and a blanket. So, you go around and you just take a little more time to focus on each thing. You don't have to go obsessively around the house and notice everything in it. It's just remember to do it as you're going about your day. So let's say you're in there making dinner. So you open the fridge to get the chicken out that you had the money to go to the store and buy. And you pull out the veggies and you pull out everything and you put it on the counter and you close the doors to the fridge. And then you stand in front of the fridge and realize, I bought this chicken and these veggies yesterday. I would have had to make them yesterday if I didn't have this refrigerator. And we really couldn't keep milk in the house if I didn't have this refrigerator. This refrigerator is awesome. Every day it's working and we can, this adds to my life. I am abundant. Thank you, God, for that. Universe. So it's just a fun thing. And as you go around, so you're, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for this. It's doing many things. It seems silly, but it's doing many things. First of all, it stops you from the obsessive thought processes about work, about bills, about problems, about the neighbor chick who said something to you at the mailbox, or whatever that we obsess about. We stop doing that because every time we're not busy and have to do something else, we go back to this. It also slows time down because you are present in the present moment. I bet you if you spent 20 minutes walking around the house being thankful, that would seem very long. But if you spent 20 minutes on your phone or 20 minutes obsessing about something, in a blink of an eye, you could spend an hour on your phone and just like, oh my gosh, has it been an hour already? What, you know, you're not present. You're not participating in right now. And that is the key to slowing down time, which we all talk about how fast it goes, you know? So that's another thing that I found when I was doing this. I've done it many times. And it's interesting. And if you can get the other people in your house to do it too, it's actually pretty funny if you ask them to, like, out loud every time they see something they're thankful for, to just, you know, say, thank you, God, you know, or like, or announce it, you know, it's kind of funny. And then everybody's laughing. So that raises the vibration. The more and more you raise your vibration, the more you stay centered in gratitude and joy, you're allowing that to come in. You've stopped, you pull down the walls that said, I can't be happy. I'm lacking in some way. I'm not abundant. Things are really bad. And you allow yourself to believe, not just believe, you're not fooling yourself. You allow yourself to accept that you're okay and that you've been taken care of. It's really an amazing thing. And the more your vibration rises, the more white light you're housing in your body, the brighter your light gets, results in healing. So this simple process has so many benefits, and it just depends on how it benefits you. I'm sure, you know, everybody's different. But for me, I ran around the house and did this, and I realized how long it seemed. I figured a couple of hours I was doing that. Nope. How long it seemed that I was doing that. And then I realized for the first time in a long time, my thoughts were only about that. I try to micromanage everything. I mean, if that's the correct term. I mean, I gotta think about everybody in the family. I gotta make sure everybody's okay. Everybody has what they need. I gotta think about tomorrow and 2 years from now and everything all at once. And that's not a good thing to do. That's staying in a constant state of stress. And a constant state of stress lowers your vibration, allows you to get ill. Not good. Not good at all. Excuse me. So, recognize, step one, all the material, wonderful things in your life. It's actually like a vacation from the complicated, because it becomes very simple. It's in your mind, you know, you're not walking around saying these things out loud. You can, like I said, but it's just spending a little more time in the gratitude of something. Step two. Now, don't get stressed out about this one. This is a little bit harder, okay? You're going to have to be a little evolved for this. It's like, recognize the blessings and relations. These are emotional blessings. Step one is physical blessings. Step two is emotional blessings. Now, these are the people in your lives. These are the relationships. Kids, family, parents, coworkers, friends, acquaintances. And it doesn't have to be a painful step. Understand that even somebody who has hurt you is a valuable player in this production that we call life. And as hard as that is to admit, it's true. Because they taught us something, one way or another. They taught us something. Even if it was just how to overcome whatever they put us through, made us stronger. And we don't want to give them that. I know it's really hard. You don't want to give them that. Give yourself that. The understanding of it is where the strength lies. And sometimes when we understand things, we can release and we don't carry so much. You know, and sometimes they teach us maybe what not to be or not how to be. And some of those are the most valuable lessons. The importance of this step is to remind us that we are not alone. I know people who always feel alone and they're surrounded by people, even people that love them. They're not letting that love in. They're not allowing it to happen, although it's there. And even if it's not somebody who loves you, it can be somebody who made you laugh, or somebody talked to you about something, or somebody taught you something, a teacher, a friend, or even an acquaintance, or somebody you don't even know. We're looking at how these people have added to our lives. We're not going to go through the negative. We already know the negative. We already been through that, right? We're going to go through all the positives. So I'm saying, even if this person was a negative person or a negative influence, or what they did was bad, maybe you don't even have to focus on that. But if you want to, if it pops up, say, you know what? Switch to, how did I learn from that? What did I learn from that? How did I advance from that? Because we're all survivors. Everything that's gone before, we survived. We got through it. And some people, no, I'll never get over it. No, I'll never get through it. No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Yes, you are. Because you did. You're here. You're alive. And that's all we need to do, right? But along the way that we choose to embellish our journey, it can be what turns a story into a masterpiece. You see? So understanding turns into appreciation. Maybe not so much for those people that did that stuff, okay? Just understanding. But certainly helps you appreciate the people in your life. Don't think of their faults. Don't think about how annoying they are. Don't think about, none of that stuff. All positive, okay? Trust me, we got 4 teenagers here in the house, and love them so much. But there's days when I could just, I come up with a lot of negative things to think about. And we address those things, and we do what we're supposed to do in life. But for this exercise, we're going to think about all the good things about the people in your life. It reminds us that we're not alone, and that is something that a lot of people struggle with. Again, start with nothing before this. If you had no one, and some people say, I have no one. Everybody's got somebody. You got somebody. Even if it's the neighbor who comes and says hi to you at the mailbox, everybody's got some kind of human interaction. And nowadays, even more so. Facebook friends. I have the best Facebook friends that I've never met in real life. They add a lot to my life. Everybody's got somebody. Let's be appreciative of them. And let's acknowledge how they have enriched our lives. You know, start with your loved ones, because that'll put you in when we start to do this step, you know, there's a tendency to say, oh God, I got to think about people. No, start with the really good ones. Start with the highest, you know, like your mom. You know, I love mom. You know, we're going to think so many good things about mom or whoever it is to you. You know, and then your spouse and your children and people you just love to death, your best friends. Start with the highest, then move on down. If you want to stop, you can stop. You can move on. Or you can just keep thinking about those people for 3 days. Remember the times when they made you laugh, or they were there for you, or the way they gave to you, and the way that they have enriched your life. Or stay centered in gratitude for those people. And then realize how many people you've had in your life so far. Like, wow, there's really been a lot of people. You know, we've got the standards, we've got the steadies who are there all the time, but then there's a lot of friends, a lot of people have come in and out of my life, teachers, co-workers, even that have enriched my life. And there's going to be more. There will always be more, unless you go hide in a cave somewhere on some island. There will be more people. It's up to you to recognize the blessing of their presence in your life. And this may just improve relationships for you. You could suggest that other people do this. Maybe they'll be right there with you. But just for you, just for the way you feel inside, this will probably improve your relationships. Now, what about people you've never met? You can move to there. We're looking at all aspects of our life, all connections, whether you've never heard of them before or you've never met them before. Music. How has music been the backdrop for joy in your life? For fun? Helped you cry it out, you know, or movies, comedians, people are thinking, oh, because they make people laugh. What an important profession. Sometimes comedians can be really negative with their stuff, but, you know, people are laughing. You know, you get people in a positive, bubbly, happy mood. You know, what a great profession. That is valuable in our society. Authors. If you read a book, authors that write your textbooks, they taught you how to do it because it was there in print for you, you know. Everywhere you get information. Somebody who does YouTube videos, you know, they talk about things you enjoy, or they bring joy to your life. So people in the entertainment industry or the education industry or in the public eye, they don't understand how valuable they are to society because they touch more people than they will ever know. And that's good. That's good. So think about all these things. We're all looking for all the blessings. You know, take a minute with it. You know, well, I really like that comedian. How's he blessing my life? Because when I came home from work that one day and I watched him on this video on Facebook when I was in a terrible mood, I laughed. I laughed a lot. And then after that, I felt better. That person was a blessing in your life for that moment. This is what we're looking for. after this step again is raising our vibration. So we've gone through the physical and we've gone through the emotional. And now our vibration is higher. We are wiser. We are present. And we have taught ourselves a lot of things. And, it really sparks, it opens up the mind as well, because it gets you thinking about things that are positive. And that is good. And then we move on to step 3. Step 3 are spiritual blessings. So people, I have never felt alone. Even when I was a kid, I remember running around, psychic. I remember, but spiritual, faithful, I remember running around feeling like I was being filmed all the time. Never like voicing it or anything, but just like somebody's always watching me. And even when I go walk out, I remember this one day, it's funny, this memory pops up. One day I was walking out. We had about a couple acres and we had horses, and I had to go out there by myself before dark and early in the morning to feed the horses. I remember this one day, couldn't tell you when it was and how old I was, but I was little, walking out across the field, and I didn't feel alone. I felt like somebody was right there with me. I wasn't like acknowledging that someone was there or talking to somebody. I just felt them there. I was asking Archangel Gabriel today because I was thinking about this. Some people will say, well, there's no evidence of God and there's no evidence of life after death, and why should I believe that? And why should I believe, if I don't have someone standing beside me, why should I believe that I'm not alone? Well, then you need to do your research, because there's more evidence to support it than not. So I was asking Archangel Gabriel, I'm like, okay, so what percentage of the population of the world right now has had some form of connection or evidence or experience, paranormal, divine, having a dream of a loved one who passed, something weird that happened, should have died in that accident, didn't, fell down the stairs, got up and everything was fine, seeing something out of the corner of your eye? What percentage of the population has noticed something? Is more than just us. He said 98%. Now, don't quote me on that, but I was surprised. 98%? Wow. And so then I asked, okay, what percentage of the population would admit it? 50%. 50%. So we dismiss so much. We dismiss so many blessings. We dismiss so many connections. And this step is about acknowledging those as you go about your day. You don't have to go sit like a yogi on some hill and do it. You can't do that. That would be good. You could, if you could do that, but you don't have to. Let's take a look back. Think about the times. I have many times where I was like, I don't even know how I survived that. Like that, things I can't explain. I have seen my daughter at 2 years old miss the handrail, fall down concrete steps. I think it's like 4 steps in the backyard. I'm running to stop her. She ran out of the house before me. I'm running to stop her. She misses a step. Kid does a flip in the air, and there wasn't enough motion for that. It wasn't enough to do that kind of flip. Turns in the air, lands at the bottom of the 4 steps on her butt. Gently. Did not cry. And I stood there and I'm like, what the? I didn't see an angel, okay? At that time in my life, I wasn't like tuned in like that. But I can't explain to this day, I cannot explain that to you. And there are so many ways that we have been protected, assisted, notified, so much knowledge, so much love by the divine, by angels, our spirit guides, loved ones who have passed away, even animals that have passed away. Some of them stick around, or even animals from another level stick around. They'll come back and protect you in spirit, keep the bad spirits away. Love, start thinking about it. Love is so abundant and around us, and we just have to acknowledge it. And they'll say, oh, well, that's easy for you because you're psychic. Not really. You know, I only see things when I tune in, when I decide to. I got to have some kind of normal life, you know. Jesus told me one time in a meditation, because yes, I go into meditation, I talk to Jesus because I can. Why not? The reason I can do all this stuff is because I say, why not? So you do it too. Jesus told me, I just forgot what Jesus told me. Anyway, but the point here is that Archangel Michael said there's never an honest, outstretched hand that we do not embrace. An honest, outstretched hand. You're always connected and you're always heard. Your prayers are heard. And it's not about being, this is where we get messed up. Why would God love me? I'm so insignificant. I'm so small. Why would he grant these things for me? I'm not deserving of it. We have been taught over the centuries to believe that. We have been taught that we are not worthy to read the word or to connect or talk to God. Oh, you can talk to God, but he can't talk to you. Or you're crazy, right? No. I mean, if we're all connected and everything is happening at once, then we're all part of God. We're all on this journey together, you know? So in this step, we're going to acknowledge all the blessings, all the times our prayers have been answered, all the times that we nearly missed catastrophe, all the times the kids came home safe when we were sitting there worrying, all that. All the thing, you know, even if you didn't reach out when you were going through something, they were still there, whether you realize they are or not. If we had no divine assistance, we wouldn't survive past infancy. I mean, we would, there's got to be divine intervention. Because, you know, humans can't be there all the time. And there's all kinds of spiritual things that can get you. You know? Think about it. If we acknowledge that there are positive energies, we also have to accept that there are negative energies. If we acknowledge that there is sunlight, there is daytime, we also have to acknowledge that, yes, the night comes too. And if we acknowledge that there are positive beings, loved ones who pass on, angels, God, things like that, we also have to acknowledge that there would be the latter. And we have seen the evidence of the latter in this world much more often than we'd like, especially because the media does nothing but put negative stuff on TV. Stop watching the news. Anyway, love never dies, and you can be surrounded by as much as you like if you let it in and you acknowledge that it's there. So you think about all these times, all these connections. And all you really just side note here. Maybe it'll stick. Maybe you'll remember it someday when you need it. If you want to talk to God, talk to God. Go on meditation and visualize what he looks like and go walk and stand in front of him. Go sit on a bench with Jesus. Go talk to Great Aunt Sally. Whatever you want to do. Go into meditation and visualize it. Allow yourself to visualize it. Then keep going back and ask your questions. One day or another, start asking questions so you don't know the answers to. When you get those answers and go and Google them, then you know. Okay? So step 3 really takes us full circle in our gratitude quest, in our quest to become centered. And I asked, why do we have to do all of these things to become centered? Isn't there something we can do, like go sit under a tree and chant something? No, because the problem didn't happen because you weren't chanting something. The problem is that you have this free will and you have this wonderful creative mind as a creator. And you and only you choose about what to fill your mind with. And along the way, we assign different levels to people, like whose opinion is more important. And it's funny because sometimes we'll give somebody so much power who means nothing to us. Maybe it's just some kid at school that wore the right clothes and they called you something, their opinion of you. And you held on to that for years. They have no power over you. They don't get to decide who you are. You do, in every moment and every day. And so what we're trying to clear away are these preconceived notions about who we are, about where we are, about how far we've come. And once we do that, you get to a place of peace. And within that place, you really will feel fuzzy and warm. I'm telling you what. Then, when you do that, Archangel Uriel says you can make your decision about what it was you wanted to try or to start. Then you can continue on if you got stuck on a project you're trying to work on. And you will see how much your mind is open to possibilities. Now, if this doesn't completely work for you, excuse me with my notes, we have some extra credit. And this is the bonus round. And you want to do it right after. Okay? You can do it before. You can do it before if you wanted to. Now, this one you can do by itself. And I think that you probably should often. Take 3 days to acknowledge all the good things about you. All the beautiful things about you. All the smart things about you. All the good things that you have done and everything that you have accomplished. Even if it's just down to opening the door for somebody. Because we don't give ourselves enough credit. And we are our worst critics. And the voice that is ours in our head is so mean. Let's change that voice. Change that voice into a voice that loves you. Because if your best friend or the person that loves you most in the world were to describe you, their description would be much better than yours. So take time to do that and to dismiss any negative thoughts about yourself. And it's like, wow, you really have nice hair. Yeah, but you're fat. No, we're not going to do that. We don't do that. We never say the F word anymore. By the way, women, we don't do that. But this is something that is, this will boost your confidence. It's not lies. What we're trying to uncover here are our truths. The falsehoods hold us back. What's important is our view. And we can change our view. And when we're confident and we're centered and we're creative again and we are calm again and we are unstressed again, we're like children, aren't we? And children heal fast and they have more energy and they create wonderful things and they run and they play and they laugh and they believe they can do anything. So let's get back to centered. Let's do these things. You can repeat it as many times as you like. Review. Step 1 is we are going to acknowledge the physical and materialistic abundances in our life. Step 2, the emotional blessings in our life. People, everything anybody has provided that is positive, that has helped you in some way. Now, remember we said, even if it was a negative experience and it helped you grow and it helped you learn, even if it was a teacher you hated because they're so hard on you, but then they got you got an A in the class, or a drill sergeant or something like that, they, in a roundabout way, made a positive impact on your life. So step 2 is relationships, emotional blessings, all about blessings. And then step 3, which is the easiest for me, is the spiritual blessings in our life. All the times we have been helped, all the times we have been heard, all the times we have been saved. And God, the divine will send you messages. And this is true. They'll send you messages, information in your dreams. They'll send it through music. They'll send it through movies. They'll send it through signs. They'll send it through other people you don't even know. They walk by and say something, and you're like, and then you dismiss it immediately. And it's like, well, how much work did that take to get somebody you don't even know to walk by you and say that to help you out today? Take it. Accept it. Believe it. Walk around in an amazing, blessed, loving journey. And yeah, stuff's going to happen. Stuff's going to happen. But you ever watch old people that have been through war? They're like happy about everything. They're just like, this is amazing cake. They're just really amazed by everything. And they are appreciative of everything because they've been through the unspeakable. And anything else that comes along, when they go through problems, they're like, yeah, okay, well, we'll get through it together. Because they've been through the unspeakable. Anything after that, it's not so bad. So, focus on your blessings. Work on your 3 steps and your bonus round. You can do the bonus round first. I'd say do it first. That'll help. Raise your vibration and believe in infinite possibilities. I'm Jennifer Fallaw, and thank you so much for joining me here today for the I Am Worth It Summit 2019. Enjoy your day.